Rock and roll. We are live. And I am sharing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let
Let's go ahead
everything
and
go.
let's let
Let's
let's
start to
let
come
the
in
internet
here.
juices do its work.
Let some folks start
The
to come in
web.
here. Before we do any of the introductions, we will just kind of let things load up.
Load up. Happy spring.
Yeah, how is everyone doing out there? I can still ask that.
And I'm going to be sharing on on my personal Facebook, just so we can make sure that whoever wants to ask questions, they can ask the questions.
Okay, we are almost a minute in. Let's go ahead and get this party
John
started.
likes to get it going.
Well,
he waits for no one.
All right, how's everyone doing out there? My name is John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner, Radla Mendoza, and we are the immigration law firm Gardner and Mendoza. We come to you every Wednesday from 8 o'clock to 8:30 to answer your immigration questions and bring you immigration updates. And what we've been doing lately is picking specific topics that we think are timely and important in the moment.
Yes.
And kind of talking about those a little bit more. So if you have a question that's on our topic, we'll get to those first. And if you have a question that has nothing to do with our topic, we still may get to it, but we're going to get the topic related questions out of the way first. We also take the questions in the order that they come in. So
yeah, we're going to answer the questions.
The sooner you get in and get your questions posted, the sooner we will get to them. And we are on Facebook Live, and we are also on TikTok. I want to say hello to everybody out there in the TikTok world.
And on YouTube.
And YouTube, that's right. And actually, YouTube and TikTok are where most of the questions end up coming from.
Thanks for the love, guys.
Yeah, I do want to warn you that what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice. It is not legal advice.
Not legal advice. Why is it not legal advice?
Well, it's not legal advice because we just simply don't have enough information to really give you an answer that you could rely upon 100%. All right, so you're asking us snippet questions. We're getting into them. But if you became a client of ours, obviously we would dig very deep, dig very wide, and make sure that we looked into every single aspect, and then we'd be able to give you better, thorough legal advice because you'd be a client too. Okay, so that's why it's not legal advice. That's the main reason.
Fantastic.
Yep. And
tonight, okay, there are a lot of people on Facebook. Do not leave the Facebook, guys.
Yeah.
I see you. I see all of you. Do not leave. We have a very special guest. She's not really a guest.
Yeah, that's right.
She's just part of the program.
We have a new addition to the program, someone who's been joining us frequently, and it's a really amazing golden opportunity to get some really wise insight into what actually goes on in the minds of these USCIS officers who are evaluating these cases and trying to decide whether to approve them or not. So why don't you introduce our guest?
Because we have Odette Batchelor, who is a recently retired senior USCIS immigration officer, and she's done a lot of different positions in her 42 years of working at USCIS and Legacy INS. I don't know how Odette worked there for 42 years. I think she may have started when she was like 14 or 15. Is that right? When you started there? 42 years?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. So Odette has been joining us. Tonight we're going to be talking about something that our clients have been calling us about, that people have been commenting about and asking about, and that is the enhanced security checks that USCIS is doing right now as of, I believe, April 27th. So that was just last week, last Thursday. And how are these enhanced security checks impacting your applications? That is what the people want to know, Odette. And before we started, what did we say? This is going to be the Odette show, because she's going to be able to provide us so much insight. And guys, look, there are a lot of people who are creating content and are who are sharing educational information. And our goal is to do that as well, but we want to do it in a way that is not going to scare you, right? We want to be able to present the facts to you, show you exactly what's going on, so you aren't, what do the kids say, tweaking? Is it
Yeah.
so you're not tweaking out. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Tweak. So you're not tweaking out, right? So you're taking this information that Odette is going to give you today, that we're going to share with you today, and you're going to just be like, okay, that's what's happening. We're going to have to take a wait and see approach. And if all of you haven't heard, right, do you want to talk a little bit about this enhanced security and what people think that it means and what it actually means? And that's where Odette is going to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. So Odette, what are you hearing on this? What do you want to tell us about this?
Well,
Let's
I can tell you.
hold on 1 second. I'm going to bring this a little bit close. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, but we're bringing it closer just to make sure that folks on TikTok can hear. And I don't think that we've invited. Yeah.
Right. We have a lot of
questions. Thanks for all the love, guys, on TikTok. I know that Facebook is not really geared for hearts and love. I mean, I know you guys love us too, but we can actually see the love. Really, really appreciate that. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for
yeah, Deb, before we get into that, that's as Radlin was saying, we want you to bring some perspective on this. I mean, I counted them up the last time you were here. 7 administrations. So you worked during 7 different administrations. You know, things go up, they go down, they go sideways, they change a lot.
They change a lot.
You got to roll with it. And, you know, we're in the solutions business in our law firm. You know, we have to take whatever's coming and then figure out the way through it, the way to get around it, the best way to approach it so that we can get the results for our clients that we want to get. And Radlin's right. When people see something like this, there's definitely a tendency to start freaking out. So is this a freak out moment or is
it is definitely not a freak out moment.
Okay.
People should be a little patient. Again, you know, USCIS, Department of Homeland Security, went through a big overhaul when they lost so many people for the buyout that they did, and they lost a lot of federal employees. So again, that is some of your backlog right there. But the enhanced and security checks is no different than the security checks they did during the 9/11. Yes, things will be taking a little longer, but it's not like they're going to take your case and be like, oh, you're on hold, and just throw them to a shelf somewhere and just keep going. They are still working on many cases. As your case is on hold, they're working on the next one. The security checks just mean that they're going to be doing more in-depth. So they'll be doing more State Department, more CBP, more of, you know, your federal background, your FBI, could be Interpol, you know, depending on what pops up. So those things will take a little longer, especially doing overseas checks. If your fingerprints have been expired for over a year or 2, you may be brought back in for fingerprints. Don't ask the officer at the time, should I go downstairs and get fingerprint? No. Well, in Norfolk, the fingerprint location is downstairs, but don't ask because they're not going to take you. You have to be scheduled, and you will get scheduled for it. So that may be a little bit of a backlog right there. So until you get scheduled, get in, and for it to clear may take some time. Generally, if everything goes smooth, there is no hiccups, everything pops up, you know, roses for you, the case could be approved within a week or 2. So don't think that, oh my God, this is going to take months and months and months and months. It really doesn't, unless there's something that pops up between the time you filed your application and these checks to the time of approval. So when they get ready to approval, they running them all over again. Things happen with people. I know certain cases, certain people may run into, I don't know, it could be family issues. It could be traffic issues. It could be misdemeanor issues. Those are going to pop up. And when they do, now your case is being pushed aside. So don't take your case lightly and think, oh, hopefully they won't find out about that. They will. And if you already know you're in some kind of situation, make sure you contact Gardner Mendoza.
Thanks for that shout out. So what I'm hearing, Odette, is that when you say they're going to do a background check, right? They're going to rerun your prints. They're going to maybe hit and get information from the State Department, from CBP. So we're talking about, of course, people in the United States who have applications that have already been filed, and they're here in the United States. And so what you're saying is that they may get your record from State Department. They
Correct.
may get your visa interview questionnaire and see what you said. They may look to see if there's any record that CBP took when you're coming in through the airport. Is that what you mean by that?
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what I mean.
And because it's enhanced, it's quote unquote enhanced, there may be getting this information from them, or they will be getting this information from them. And so you're saying during 9/11, this is something that happened then as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no difference.
All right. And so then what changed then from enhanced to not enhanced and then enhanced again, right? Like what's the mechanism that changes that you all do as immigration officer, that you did as an immigration officer? Is there anything, or is it all just in the system?
It's all in the system. Really, it's just all background checks that are done via electronic. The
Right.
only thing that we may do is schedule someone for the fingerprints. And, again, that's still electronic, but it's something manually we have to do. But other than that, no, everything is electronic. We're not
So
calling different
right,
agencies or
right.
anything like that.
Okay. So when our clients say, can you just talk to the immigration officer and tell her to just push the button, right? Do the thing that needs to be done to get my, we can't do that, and you can't do that, and you don't do that.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
Just,
You can call us all day long.
For those of you out there who, maybe you're making an InfoPass appointment because you want to talk to the immigration officer that interviewed you, and you want to tell them, hey, do the background check thing that needs to do that enhanced security thing. So on the back, it's all on the back end, is what you're saying.
Yes, everything is done in the back end. You can come in. Most of the time, the officers cannot come out and talk to you if they're in the middle of an interview. Some may be available. You may see them walk through the waiting room to come get the next client, but they're not going to stop and talk to you because now they're holding up the next interview. We can pass along your request. We can let you know, but you're going to get the same answer that they're going to tell you at the information counter.
Right. And you may not make it up there anyway. Like you're not making it up there if you don't have an appointment.
If you don't have an appointment, you're not getting in.
It's not like you can just walk in. Okay. So any questions related to this?
Not specifically to this. No, the first question that came up was an interesting, odd one, but not right on point.
Okay. All right. We'll look at that question in a second.
Mhm.
I do have a follow-up question about something that you mentioned, and that was physically what happens to the file, right? So say you have an applicant who comes in, and you know that there's going to be a delay because there are going to now be these enhanced security checks on each file that comes through, right? Even though the biometrics has already been done, these are enhanced. They're going to do it again. Does that immigration officer pick that file up and put it somewhere else? I mean, like you you keep it in the room. Like I feel good if the immigration officer keeps the file in their office. I don't feel as good if they walk it across to like the warehouse, right? To the warehouse, the storage dusty room where the visa bulletin cases and the priority date's not going to be current for 3 years. Like I don't love that. But tell us what that looks like. Just kind of go in on that a little bit.
Once they finish the interview, everything looks good. they know that so far everything came clean the first time, they're really not thinking anything else should pop up bad with the enhanced security checks. So they're going to keep that case with them. It's going to stay with them because they expect everything to be cleared within that week or two, and then they can hurry up and get that case approved. And once that case is approved, it'll move forward then to the dusty file room that you talk about.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it'll be done then. Cases that may pop up with something may be a little more. It may go to the file room and put on the hold shelf until everything clears, and then it will be brought back to them once those security checks clear.
Gotcha. So, when you say that you know they've interviewed the couple, let's just say it's a marriage case. They've interviewed the couple, and the officer, because of his or her experience, because of their experience, they think, okay, I've interviewed these people. I believe them. They're telling the truth. I'm going to keep this with me, right? But it's not something that they can be certain, right? That they know, right? So, so those that enhanced security could bring negative information, like maybe, you know, the applicant said they were married on their visa application, but they actually weren't, but they said they were married so they could more easily get that visa. Because if you're leaving your wife back home in Colombia, you know, maybe I'll get a tourist visa more quickly and have a better chance. And then they come here and da 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 da. So that's something that could come up.
That's something that could pop up. Yes. Maybe they had some kind of accident or criminal case in another country. That's going to end up popping up.
Right. So are we saying that prior to this enhanced security, and I mean, if you don't know the answer to this, these security checks weren't being done?
No, they were being done, but people go home for visits to visit their family and friends, and things pop up when they go over there.
Okay.
And that's when they end up popping up with us.
Okay. Got it. So you don't want anything to pop up.
Right. Okay. Well, so most of the time, even with the enhanced check here, the majority of the time, it's going to come back the same as it did the first time. Is that a fair statement?
Most of the time.
Yep. Most of the time. Okay. However, you know, we always are preaching to everybody to be careful if you have any criminal record, if you've got things in your background and your history that are criminal in nature. Even if they didn't turn in anything, you know, you didn't feel like you got convicted or you think the charge was dropped. We've always told people in that situation to consult with an attorney because that complicates the case. Even more true now than ever, to be very careful with that stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And Odette, you know, now that John has, you know, opened the door to criminal record, you know, if someone has been arrested in another country, right? But it didn't go anywhere. It just was mistaken identity, or they got brought to the police station and no charges were brought. They don't really have to put that on their application, right?
Incorrect. They do have to put that on their application.
Oh, dude, I thought I was going to trick you. Okay. So, yes, of course, that is incorrect. Why do they have to put it on the application?
Because it asks.
Nothing happened.
The question asks for, have you ever, anywhere
in the
world?
Yeah.
We want to know it all. And we want to know the final outcome of it. And you have to provide proof of that final outcome.
Yep. Okay. So this is something that we are always, John and I are always talking about because.
Well, it just came up
the
day before yesterday with a client.
Yeah. Because, you know, I think that a lot of people think that, oh, well, you know, I got arrested or I got charged or I got charged and didn't get arrested, or I got arrested but didn't get, you know, whatever, no charge, no conviction. And they believe that they don't have to tell us about it, the immigration attorneys. They believe they don't have to tell the criminal defense attorney about any previous charges because nothing happened from it. They believe that they don't have to tell you about it. And here we all three are here to tell you that yes, the question is, have you ever been arrested, cited, charged in or outside of the United States? And even if nothing came out of it, you have to put it on your application. And it's one of the reasons why it's so silly that people don't put it on the application is because it's inconsequential, right? To the final outcome of the case. It's not going to impact your green card application, right? Because there's no conviction. It's not going to impact your naturalization because there's no conviction. And even if there were, you know, if it depending on what it was, it would be okay. But when you lie about it, now you've made a misrepresentation.
Yes.
And that's where the problem comes. So,
Right.
Yeah, if they find it though, Odette, I mean, you all would never be able to. I mean, if I'm at the Norfolk office, but my conviction was in Utah, you all would never be able to find that out because that was all the way in Utah, right?
We go anywhere in the world.
anywhere in the world, right?
Anywhere in the world.
And it sounds like these enhanced security checks are kind of checking all these things even after a person has already done their biometrics. What has happened between the time that you've done your biometrics, that you filed your application, that you've appeared at the interview? And that's what USCIS is checking.
Right.
From the understanding of it all. All right.
So folks, if you are in a case or getting ready to start a case and you have any, I mean, I think you should all have an attorney, but especially if you have any criminal background, like I said, you really should talk to someone because it can get very confusing. We just had somebody a couple days ago said, oh, well, you know, I didn't say that it was a conviction because I thought the judge just said it was dismissed. I did these anger management classes and I paid some court costs and I went back a year later and he just said, okay, you're free to go. So I just thought that was it. I thought that was nothing. Well,
Right.
That's something.
Odette, she's like, oh, that's something. She's about to say
Something.
that is something for sure.
As the kids say, that's something for sure.
That is something for sure. All right, let's grab some questions.
All right. So we have this first question. It says, have you ever done or heard of a nunc pro tunc for I-130 religious marriage and divorce? Tutu Osmond wants to know. So just for those of you who don't know, nunc pro tunc is a Latin legal expression that just means dating back to the original date. So if you had an order that was entered back in 1985, and then here in 2026, you make a change to it, nunc pro tunc, it just means that the change that you made today is retroactively effective back to 1985. But the question here
Such a good explanation.
is nunc
Thank
pro
God
tunc
no one asked me to explain that.
for an I-130 religious marriage and divorce. That part of it, I don't know.
Yeah, so a nunc pro tunc.
I can answer that one.
Oh.
I had a case like that.
Oh. Well.
Pray
Okay,
tell.
who is this? This person is, what's their name?
Tutu Osmond.
You're in luck. See, you're being
You lucked out
rewarded
today.
for coming to our Facebook Live
Mhm.
because Odette has an answer. Fantastic. Let's
Yeah, I had one many years ago, and no one thought they could ever get a judge to have that go back. And it was a married couple, I-130, 45, but the divorce from that other country was the problem for the one of the spouse. And we just knew it wasn't. I mean, literally, I pretty much almost wrote the denial because I was like, they're not going to get it. What judge is going to go back that many years? That judge out of Detroit went back and did a nunc pro tunc, and I was able to get the case done.
Okay.
Wow.
Now
that's-
they had to refile
Had to
because it wasn't approvable at time. So they had to refile one of those applications.
I would argue that it was approvable. Well, no, it was not approvable. I can see why you would say not approvable when filed, but by operation of law, I would have written a brief on that one.
Well,
What do you think?
our immigration attorneys said no.
I think Tutu Osmond should contact our office tomorrow morning. Is
All
what
right.
I think.
Fantastic.
Okay, well, that's awesome. thanks, Odette. That's really cool that you literally
You've
knew the
seen
exact-
one.
Yeah,
Well,
only
we've-
one in my whole career.
1 out of 42 years. So we can say yes, we've done it because Odette's on the team, right?
That's right.
Mhm.
Tutu Osmond says, "Wow, great." So he or she's pretty happy.
Right. Can we get the judge to do a nunc pro
Yeah,
tunc?
no.
That's gonna be the question. And then this comes up because sometimes people get married and they don't know their previous marriage was not terminated. Right?
Exactly.
There's some sort of there's a problem with it, and it can cause all kinds of problems and issues with your immigration case, of course.
Yeah.
But that's a great example, and the nunc pro tunc part filed in the civil court. That's not something that we would do, right? Because it would be in another state. But we would take that nunc pro tunc and argue that this petition can go forward, this green card application can go forward with this designation.
Yeah, I mean, getting anything under nunc pro tunc can be a real challenge, but it's definitely doable. We have done a fair amount of them. When I was doing criminal work, that was one of the things that I did for our clients from time to time that needed it. We'd have cases where the conviction, it wasn't usually the conviction was not the problem, but the sentence that was attached to the conviction. And I would, if I could get the sentence reduced to 6 months or less, then it would fall under the petty offense exception. But they'd gotten, say, a year, and I did have success getting judges here in this area to enter new orders for those cases, nunc pro tunc, and they would change the sentence down to a number that would then, open the door for Odette, for you all to approve the case.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah.
put it
I've
like
seen
that.
that in criminal cases, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's not an easy task. Most judges are not crazy about it, but if the facts are right, it is doable. So if that's something you need in your case, don't have no hope. It's a long shot, but it's a shot worth taking.
Definitely. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
This looks like an adoption question.
yeah, do we want to move? Do we want to
No,
look
no,
for?
no. Let's
Okay.
let's
Not
take the
about
adoption. Let's take the adoption question. One of
That's-
my favorite things.
Okay, so Larika says, my aunt and uncle passed away and left an underage son. I'm working to get legal guardianship. What can be an option to get him here?
Okay, so sorry to hear about your aunt and uncle passing away. First off, that's tough. As far as the underage son is concerned, assuming that you're a U.S. citizen, right? You could be a permanent resident. That would take a really, really long time. But assuming you're a U.S. citizen, a couple of things have to happen before you can file that I-130 petition for your adopted child, right? Maybe it's a aunt and uncle. Is this a nephew or not a nephew, cousin, right?
Mhm.
So first off, you have to adopt the child before the child turns 16. So 15 and under, got to be under the age of 16. And the second thing, which is difficult for people to do, and Odette, I'm sure you've seen cases like this, is you have to have that, legal guardianship or the adoption for at least 2 years. And you have to also physically live with the child for a cumulative period of at least 2 years. Now, that is the hard part. It can take years to get to that 2-year mark. So we've had clients who have gone back to the Philippines for summer vacations. They've gone back for winter vacations to get that 2 years. And of course, it takes several years to get to that 2 years, depending on how long they can stay. So if you get legal guardianship of your cousin, and that's all you do, and you file an I-130 petition with the USCIS, that case is that I-130 petition is going to get denied because you have to meet these prerequisites, before going through this process. So it is possible. It can be challenging if you say you're in the military and you can't leave, or say you have your own children here and you're taking care of them. It's not like you can just go. to another country and spend months at a time there to try to get to this 2 years. One thing though is that your spouse, if you're married, can also go and get the 2 years under their belt, even if they're not the petitioner. So hopefully that helps. These are really long cases. They take a really long time. They're very rewarding for us, to be able to help a family member adopt a child who needs it, especially, in your case, the parents have passed away. So
I think she wanted to know about him coming to the US and staying, but I don't see how he can stay 2 years.
I mean, maybe a student visa, that's going to be tough to get
Yeah.
because of the ties to the country. But give us a call. We'll be happy to consult with you on this and see if there are any other ways. I think that one thing is people will hear that it's a long process, right? It's going to take a long time. It's going to take work. It's going to take money and costs. And in the end, hopefully it's going to be successful, right? And it will be worth it when it's successful. So time and money aside, when that child immigrates to the United States and is able to be with other family members because his parents have died or her parents have died, then that's going to be a huge benefit. So we'll be happy to talk to you about that.
Okay. We are past the 30-minute mark.
Oh,
So-
I added an extra 13 minutes to 8 to 8:40. Did I not tell you guys that?
Well, you did that.
No.
This would be the second
So
week
sorry.
in a row
So
that,
sorry.
that Odette and I were not looped into
I
the
truly apologize. It just seemed like 30 minutes was too short. It was an
Okay.
hour. We cut it down to all the way down to 30. I think 45 is a good happy
Okay.
medium. But before we go on to another question, I would love to reintroduce ourselves. My name is Radlin Mendoza, and this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner. We are the co-founders of Gardner and Mendoza, a law firm that we started together as recently graduated law school students. So silly, 26 years ago. So here we are. We're still doing immigration, and tonight we have not a guest any longer. She's a part of our Facebook Live, our live streams, our webinars. It's Odette Batchelor. Odette recently retired from USCIS. She was a senior immigration officer there and worked for USCIS and Legacy INS for a total of 42 years. So if you are just joining us and you want to know about these enhanced security, you have got to rewatch this video. And for those of you who are rewatching it, hello. So that is the quick reintroduction. I think we have a question.
That's right.
on
We
the
have
screen
5
here.
administrations under our belt, Odette. So
5 administrations.
we're doing pretty good too.
Wow, so many, so many changes.
Okay. You want to do a
Do you wanna grab-
humanitarian reinstatement, or you want to tackle this one?
Let's
here
do
on Facebook Live?
let's do a Facebook Live question here.
Okay, Leanne has come to us on Facebook Live, wants to know, hello, attorney, hello. Does the U.S. Embassy really require additional proof of presence of my dad's stay in the U.S. for CRBA application and first-time passport application? We can only provide his passport stamps, and other docs can't be acquired anymore since he is dead. Thank you for your answer.
Yes, it really does. I am sorry to say that, and sorry that your dad has passed away and may not be able to provide these documents. We have gone on serious searches. We've gone to churches that the parent may have attended. We have gotten communion records. We have gotten high school records, and I don't know how long your dad lived in the United States and whether he had these types of documents. Social Security records. Absolutely, you have to prove this documentation in order to have a successful consular report of birth abroad application. So we do these cases. We can absolutely assist you with this. And give us a call. 757-464-9224 is our phone number. You can also reach out to us through a direct message on Messenger or on TikTok. But that's a great question. But
Yeah,
it's tough.
these are
it is tough.
situations where you really have to be creative and try to figure out where can we find this evidence that we haven't been able to find yet.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. Odette, did you want to add anything to that?
I would say some documents could be tax records.
Tax records.
Mhm.
That's right. Social Security, military records. If dad was in the military, we have to dig, and sometimes even maybe hire a private investigator to get this go deep on the documents. We've never had to do that, but I know that some people have. So
Okay. We're moving on to this humanitarian reinstatement question.
sure.
Mm.
HR,
Mm.
HR, humanitarian reinstatement.
Mhm. Okay, so question is, my brother passed away 10 years ago. Can I file a humanitarian reinstatement for his daughter? It was an approved petition from 2007.
So we have an approved petition prior to the death of the petitioner. I'm sorry to hear about your brother. But humanitarian reinstatement should be available for the case that has an approved I-130 petition. Now, sad to say that Gardner Mendoza is currently not handling humanitarian reinstatements because they take like 10 years, right? They take a really long time, and our team gets really taxed by just the humanitarian reinstatement. It's very frustrating. Odette, you have received our humanitarian reinstatement request from way long time ago for those 1995 I-130 petitions that were filed at your window.
Yep. Back before they were filed online.
Right. And so those humanitarian reinstatement requests has to go to the office that adjudicated the I-130 petition. I really liked doing humanitarian reinstatement cases, and our attorneys like doing humanitarian reinstatements too, just because of the satisfaction that we get when the family reunites. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling to have that. But right now, just because of our workload and the things that we do, we're choosing to not do humanitarian reinstatements. Okay. But we have done them, and they are awesome when they get done. They do take a long time though. And I'll just mention here really quickly, and Odette, I think you can agree with me, because there is no fee to feed these in, they do get lost, right? They get lost in the shuffle. Like, am I right?
They get, I feel like they go to someone's desk.
Yeah.
And they sit there because they're like, okay, this is going to take some digging. If there was an application that was filed and it was done online or filed at a service center,
right,
they're easier to track and quicker to get done. If it was filed at a time when they were done locally at the field offices, they will take a long time process. Yes.
Yes. Sometimes and no, I appreciate that insight. Our experience has been that it just takes a long time no matter where it goes. So, and I think it's because there's no fee, and so it's tough to track. Just like, oh, it's sitting on my desk. What even is this? Right.
Right. It's not trackable at all.
Right. It's not trackable. We've had to actually file multiple humanitarian requests because they don't have it. Right. So anyhow, I wish they would put like a nominal fee on it, just so there's a tracker on it. All right. Got a couple more questions.
Yeah, we've got more questions. But going back real quick to Leanne, who was asking about proof that her father was in the U.S., she wants to know, how would you all feel about a letter from a friend or a family stating that he was here at a certain time? How does your office look at something like that? Is that persuasive?
I would, I will weigh in. Odette, you can weigh in also, but I'm going to say definitely not. Not for not for a CRBA, not for claiming,
Physical presence, no.
yeah, yeah, right.
I mean, that's considered like secondary evidence. You can add it, but it's not going to hold any value.
All right. Sorry, Leanne. Okay. Let's move along a couple more here. Over here. Good. Oh, whoops, we bumped back down. Why don't we go ahead and take that one? while I
Okay.
Get back in.
Let's see here. My family, Ahmed says, my family had their interview back in January and they received 221G with no required documents. Still waiting from the 75 visa pause. Yes. Sorry to hear that you're still waiting. This is something that's happening. Let's let this question highlight a couple of things. Number one, it's a visa pause, and your family went to their interview and you're still waiting for that pause to be lifted. So unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do about that. We can't make it faster. This pause just has to be lifted. But what I want to highlight here is something that the three of us talked about last week and what we talk about every week is that these cases are still getting processed up until through that interview, right? The cases are still getting processed. So when you all hear, there's a visa pause, there's a visa ban, there's a security enhanced pause, and you need to still file your case and move forward with your case. You see, Ahmed's family moved all the way up through the interview. They were going to get a 221G, right? Because there is a 75 country visa pause. So what does this mean? Well, when that pause is lifted, what does it mean? It means they're probably going to get approved, like right on the spot because they've already been to their interview. So, Ahmed, I know you made this comment, probably not for us to make this point, but this is such a great example of don't stop with your cases. Move and file that I-130 petition. Move through the National Visa Center. Go ahead and pay the fee bills there. Go ahead and upload your documents, do your affidavit, everything that you need to do to get documentarily qualified. And like Ahmed's family, hopefully you will get an interview. And yes, you're going to have a 221G, a pause on that. But once that pause is lifted, you're done, right? You may have to do some, depending on how long it takes, you may have to do some updating, but get through it. So when it's done, you're done. Thanks for the comments, Ahmed.
Yeah, great advice. Keep moving toward that finish line. All right.
All right. Did you say that you?
Okay. So yeah, the question we had here was, I have one retail theft of $57. There was no jail time, no probation. Can I apply for citizenship?
What does that say? That last thing say? When was it, in the summer? Or
That's just the summer.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we've got a theft, $57, no jail time, no probation. Can they naturalize? That's the question.
So, well, we would need to know a lot more information, right?
Mhm.
If the only thing you have, Odette, I'll go ahead and let you answer this question.
Okay.
So everyone
couple of
here,
things.
sorry for interrupting. Everyone here, Odette is going to answer this question. As we mentioned before, Odette is a retired senior USCIS immigration officer who has worked with USCIS and Legacy INS for a total of 42 years. So Odette has probably seen thousands upon thousands of N400 applications, and you've adjudicated thousands upon thousands of N400 applications, way more than we have, right? So go ahead, and this is a $57 theft. Let's just assume they are totally no other criminal record history, no other negative, not good moral character history, supports the dependents, pays the taxes, is never voted, never registered, but 100% clean, other than this petty theft. We're going to just call it a petty theft, a misdemeanor petty theft.
Can they file? Yes. Will they naturalize? I mean, we would need a little more information to show that everything was dismissed, right? some kind of documentation. It's a very good possibility that, yeah, they will naturalize.
Yep. Right. So,
Each theft is different, of course, in every state. So
yeah,
I'm speaking from Norfolk, Virginia.
right. Right. So essentially, I think we can't, are you going to be okay? We would have to take a look at everything, right? Even if it is, it's like, okay, yeah, this is a nothing thing. This is a petty offense. You got to fine at $57. You got no jail time. You got no suspended jail time, no active jail time, no suspended jail time. You otherwise have a clean record. The holistic approach, right? We take the holistic approach of looking at naturalization applications now. I would file the case with those facts. Again, the facts that I just mentioned, I don't know what your facts are, but I think you should definitely not be afraid to talk to an immigration attorney and have a consultation with us, and let us take a look at everything and make that decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think a lot of people they've asked me during naturalization consultations, and our clients who hire us for naturalization, like, okay, what happens if I don't get approved? Are they going to deport me? What if I don't pass the test? Are they going to deport me? What if they say no because of the $57 petty misdemeanor? Are they going to deport me? That's a big concern for people, right? That's something that I think is a fear that is unjustified. So as you heard here from Odette, no, that's not. You're just going to be a permanent resident, not a U.S. citizen. It just means
That's
that
all.
you're a U.S. citizen, right? Now, if with these enhanced security checks, there's some skeletons that USCIS finds in your closet, yes, you could be put in removal proceedings. I wouldn't file a case right now with, say, someone with a possession of cocaine conviction, right? Out 20 years outside of the good moral care, I wouldn't do it right now. So,
call us.
Call us.
That's always the final advice.
Is this still the phone?
Yeah.
This is the phone.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, folks. We really are over our time now.
Yes.
Odette, thank you so much for joining us. It's always such a pleasure.
Thank you.
As a guest, and you just bring great insight. It's really, really helpful to us, and really helpful to all the people that are joining in. So thank you again for being here. All right.
All right. Thank you all for all the amazing questions. We will see you next week, same time, same place.
That's right.
All right.
I guess from 8 to 8:45.
To 8:45
next week. All right. See you guys next week.
All right. 2 thumbs up, guys.
Don't panic. We just keep finding solutions. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.